Today, I'm diving into Season 1 of The Flash, and whether it still holds up after all these years. Let's begin at the start. Immediately boxing, straight speedster hands, and in this situation, there's nothing you can really do if you're a regular. Flash saves himself, then vanishes, leaving Thawne stranded. He got used to the future technology, quick internet. Now bro is stuck in 2015 waiting 30 minutes at a loading screen. Yeah, I'd be pretty mad too. So Thawne orchestrates Barry getting struck by lightning and getting powers. Now that we've gotten the origin out of the way, we're gonna use 6 categories to figure out if Season 1 of The Flash is truly good or not. Let's start with the main villain. Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, cold and calculated. Very great villain in my opinion. Now, he gets ruined in later returns, but if we're talking about just this season, then he's basically the perfect villain. He is the only real villain that can overpower Barry without it looking stupid, unlike Captain Cold and the others. What is bro going to do if he gets caught off guard by the dude who can catch bullets? I don't understand. Anyways, he also got a great suit, and bro was doing a 1v3 like it was nothing. He's that much of a menace. He gets trapped, takes Harrison Wells' body, and spends 15 years planning. Now that's next level dedication. Well, he just wants to go home now, which is kinda reasonable, but Barry couldn't let it go. I mean, this is his #1 hater we're talking about. By the way, he says he sees Barry like a son, but what is this royal ass beating? The Reverse Flash has no mercy with an inexperienced and young Barry.
Iris is taking Thawne nut, Flash.
Overall, great villain for Season 1 of the show, especially when you compare him to the later villains. Let's switch to my favorite episode. Now this has to be episode 15, since I can see the Weather Wizard actually being a threat. If my guy can summon a whole tsunami to destroy a city, then he's definitely a speedster threat. Anybody else? Yeah, Batman's got that, or any other hero. And this heartbreaking scene where Thawne kills Cisco, great acting and explanations. Damn. Well, back to my wheelchair. Barry has a cool suit up and pushes himself past the limits of time travel, which is a good thing since I don't think Thawne would have been able to explain that Cisco randomly went missing like that and he was out of the wheelchair. This did feel like the most essential episode to the season for me. Moving on to the suit. The prototype suit was goofy as hell. If I saw this dude trying to save me with that thing, I would tell him to pack it up and go home, cause I'm not getting caught being saved by it. Thankfully, it was only that episode. With the Season 1 suit, it needs a bit more color since it's very dark, maybe more gold aspects, but they're added later on. They left just enough room for improvement so it doesn't look too bad without also looking way too good for the first season. Afterwards is character development. I mean, Barry's learning how to be a hero and not rely too much on powers, but why does this man keep seeing Iris kiss Eddie? Leave bro alone! Cisco is the needed comic relief, and Caitlin provides support. Honestly, I enjoyed this Team Flash the most. Joe should have stayed out of it and only been there for the police scenes, and Iris finding out, it was alright. But Eddie caught me off guard, since I was expecting a douchebag, but he was actually a nice guy. Realistically, this season focuses more on building these characters rather than developing them, which makes sense. It's time to look at the action. Now I have a lot to say about this one. It's really dumb. Dog, you have super speed. Clones or not, you suck cheeks. How do you get beat like that? I know the Flash haters are looking at this like, yo, is this really your man? But again, we're gonna give him a pass since it's the first season. I mean, other stuff like this happens later on, but we don't count that yet. Gorilla Grodd? Fine, understandable, but villains like Everyman shouldn't last the whole episode. But I get it, they need it for the pacing. Listen, I'm not a writer or anything, but me personally, I would add multiple threats that Barry has to go through during the episode, like bank robbers and then some other minor threats, or you could just do one episode for a big major threat instead of these low-class metahumans. But the most important thing we gotta talk about when it comes to this category is when Barry was on Demon Time and still didn't beat Oliver. The way bro was crashing out, I for sure thought he was almost unstoppable. Thawne had to get out of the chair for a second. I don't care how much claw armor you need, a guy with a bow and arrow does not beat a speedster. The only explanation I would accept is if Barry got his speed taken, but bro literally vibrates and gets it back. Oliver shouldn't have won this fight, or even come close. The last category we're gonna go through is the finale. I would say it was satisfying. Barry goes through his mom's loss again since future Barry tells him not to do anything. Eddie shoots himself and Thawne is erased from existence. Wait a second, you're blonde? Barry runs into the singularity and it ends on a cliffhanger. Usually, I want the full story, but it's enough to wait and hope for more. I would give this season a very generous 9 out of 10. I would want Barry to learn even more new tricks and show his struggle of becoming a leader. Like I said earlier, they could have used better villains like Mirror Master, but other than that, not too many complaints for season 1. If watching a show doesn't feel like a chore, then it's doing a good job to me.
Now what the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm not sticking around for that mess.